Hi, welcome to My Medicine with Miss P. And of course, like always, I'm in a hurry because I'm taking my boy to the movies. So this looks like some good stuff, though. I'm just going to do this little bit and then I got to run. So, and of course, I just came from my daughter's room. I need to just walk past it because she's slowly destroying my house. Um, okay, so I didn't really get much from my patients these last couple days, which is weird. I got a couple little things. Oh, shoot. I did have a little sticky and I left it downstairs. Oh, man, it was a good one. I can't even remember what it was. I meant to bring it up. It was fantastic. I'll do it next week. Okay, so just starting at the top of this page. Um, I guess a patient or maybe even a student wrote down that a patient was allergic to hydrochlorone. I think that may be a toxic chemical. I don't know, but it's definitely not hydrocodone. That's for sure. Um, one of my favorites, and there's a bunch of these. This is a really good one. The patients had the fibromyalgia. Don't you hate when your patients get fibromyalgia? Have they've been diagnosed with the fibromyalgia? It's a combo of the fibromyalgia, which I believe is just a term that doctors give to you when they can't figure out what's wrong with you, but you're in pain. And then you're also allergic to 50 different things, which, as I've said before, directly correlates to one's IQ. So when you combo that, that is a patient I don't want to take care of if I can help it. Okay. One of my all-time favorites, a student, and now she gave this up to me. She told me this. She didn't chart this. She told me this. We were in the IV therapy course, and this is where, everything flies. I really miss that. If I could just do that, I would do that because that was so much fun. That was such a good week. This student told me that, they have a test over all of the acronyms and abbreviations, just kind of the nursing terms that we use. And one was WNL, which we all know is within normal limits. Except this one thought it meant will not lactate. she, I guess she couldn't think of anything, so she just put in there will not lactate. She won't lactate no matter how much she tries. That's one of my favorites. One also admitted that for VS, which of course would be vital signs, she thought it meant vaginal secretions. We don't measure those. We don't chart those. We don't. I mean, in very, very rare cases would that be a thing. It's good stuff. Okay. Oh, and I told you guys about the mastectomy shunt. That's one of the best ones ever. I can't go through that again because I'm just mastectomy shunt. Like I'm the idiot. Miss P, he has a mastectomy shunt. I can't take his blood pressure. That's good stuff. If you haven't seen it, look back on the other videos. It's there. One student did chart, or maybe it was even in a research paper or something. Supposed to, SUPOST, to, supposed to. That's not a word, but all right. Orientated with ease. I guess that's good to know. It's a real easygoing patient. Orientated. Ambulates by wheelchair. We had that before. Patient alerts to tactile touch. There's so much wrong with that. I don't even know where to go with that. Patient alerts, no, they're either alert or they're not. I think they meant responds to tactile touch. It's kind of a synonym, really, if you think about it. Tactile stimulation means touch. I'm not sure where we're going with this, but looks like there was a lot of touching in that room, I'm assuming. Extremity mobility times 4. Maybe that means moves all extremities. MAE, full range of motion. I don't know. Oh, yeah, I do have to write this one down. Okay. Now, this student hated my guts. I know you're shocked because everybody else just loved me. I wasn't scary at all. But she was looking, oh, does this really not work? Oh, I can't get up to go get another one. Ah, dang it. This is my pen from the barn. I really don't have one over here. Okay, well then you know what? I'm either not gonna write this down because I can't just get up and I can't pause and start again because I have just my phone. Oh man. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna run up real quickly and get a pen. It's right here. Don't go away. Okay, this is one of my all-time favorites, and not just because she hates me and she was mean to me, and she was so, oh gosh, she was so high maintenance. She shows me these pictures of her like ridiculous expensive wedding. All the other students in there are like barely surviving. You know, they're just trying to find a way to eat, feed their kids, and get to school. And then this girl has this like crazy expensive wedding, a little bit of a princess, but I mean, she was nice up until she said I berated her at the nurse's station simply because I literally said the words, "We don't give meds after noon." Because like after 12 o'clock, you all know. I mean, it's just a shit show. There's a thousand things going on. I got a lot happening. I'm trying to grade papers, and we already gave meds to 400 patients. I mean, like we got a lot going on. So when your nurse comes to you and says, "Oh, I have this, 1 o'clock thing," if it's an IV, maybe we'll do it because I want you to, be able to hang the solutions, but otherwise we just can't. And she just kept saying, I have this, I have this, I have this. And I said, I understand, but we don't give meds past 4. That wasn't even my rule. That was a fellow instructor that kind of started me on that. And I thought, oh, that's a good idea. I'll run with that because otherwise I just kept doing everything. Um, so she it turns out she wasn't super intelligent to begin with, but I didn't have an issue with her. But this was one of my favorites. And then another student that later worked with her told me something she did that was super stupid, and I really felt bad for her. But at any rate, she was looking all over for this medication. Okay, Fisoy. She couldn't find Fisoy anywhere. Looked everywhere for the Fisoy. That's because she wrote it down wrong, and it was ferrous sulfate. Probably should have paid a little more attention to that chemistry class. Fisoy. Not as good as Homo 2, but still good stuff. Fisoy. I'll never forget that. Absolute genius. Okay. Unable to assess orientation due to dysphagia. So this patient couldn't swallow very well, and in turn was unable to tell you where he was or his name. I don't know what that's all about. Oh, and then this was, I think I told you this before, it was probably written someplace else. Yeah, I think this was in here someplace else. I don't know how it got duplicated. I got it to organize this, but we both know I'm not going to because I have no spare time. But this one patient had the face cancer. Mom's diagnosed with face cancer. She got the cancer on her face. I'm assuming that means skin cancer. I don't know, but the student wrote face cancer. The old, not liver cancer. God forbid pancreatic cancer. No, he had the face cancer. Cancer of the face. Patient, oh, this was a goal. And God, the goals, I should have written every single one of them down. The goals and the nursing care plans were the best. Patient will show normal changes in vital signs. What do you suppose that means? Normal changes in vital, I shouldn't really fluctuate too much unless they're acute. Okay. Range motion times 3. So we're missing a limb. We should have 4. We need a little more there. Oh, the sleep apnea. I think I put that in there. Did I not tell you this one? This is the one, I don't know if I went through this. I've done it so many times in these classes. I can't remember if I did this one, but this one made me spray cake all over. Usually, once upon a time, our last days in the hospital, the sweet little gal who ran the show, who doesn't necessarily do that anymore, I don't think, she used to take us up, just before graduation, and she'd give us cake and they'd thank us, for being there, all the students and everything. They were really sweet. And we were all in there eating cake, and we would also do like a post-conference. So we talk about everything that we learned that week and stuff. So this one student, oh God, I'll never forget this. This patient had a GI bleed. And the fellow instructor was trying like crazy to get him to say what she had taught him earlier that day, which he clearly did not listen, learn, or pay attention to. So she's trying like crazy to say, like, right, he had an upper GI bleed. So, he vomited, and she's trying to get him to say, what it was called, the coffee grounds, emesis and stuff. And she's like just baiting him and leading him. And he's like, oh yeah, he had the special throw up. Just the way that hit me, I just sprayed cake everywhere, and I had to go sit at the back. I really try hard not to laugh, like, in front or at the students because it's just so, and he had these big, bright, like, blue eyes, and he's just oblivious to everything. Not a dumb kid, just like, and I've said super stupid stuff too, or silly stuff, and it just comes out, and it was just one of my, and like he had it. He was like, "Oh yeah, I see what you're trying to get me to say. The special throw up." Yes, special. Oh, he was special. Um, and I know I told you this one before. The NG tube to the left nair with TPN at 30 milliliters an hour to low intermittent suction. NG tube to left nair with TPN at 30 milliliters an hour to low intermittent suction. That's a blender. That's when you have multiple things you noted on that patient, and then you put them in a blender, and it spit out this ridiculous assessment. None of that can happen necessarily. Individually, yes, but they mix those up just a bit. Ooh, abdomen tight and distended due to hiatal hernia. But I'm not sure how that could happen, but I'm going to bet that patient would be in significant pain if their hiatal hernia, which goes this way, could make their abdomen tight and distended. That's a bad sign right there. That is not, none of that is okay. Now I see where she was going with this one, and this is also one of my all-time favorite ones. Cyanosis to bilateral buttocks. When your patient becomes hypoxic and they look fine here, but their butt starts to lose circulation and oxygenation and becomes cyanotic. I understand what that buttocks look like. I have seen the little purple butt, but it's not from cyanosis. That's not a term we would use to describe that. That's not a okay, so here's a whole bunch. Oh my gosh, really, you guys? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more pages, and then really six more pages, and I haven't even 7 pages, and I haven't even started on the others. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, we can only get so far because I've got to go. I got my puppy downstairs, eating what's left over of a fairly empty peanut butter jar. And it's a plastic, so I can hear him trying like crazy to get to the bottom of it. And I'm trying to keep him busy because I can't leave him outside anymore because he's digging holes and he's destroying my property. And then the other 2 older dogs they can't hold their bowel or bladder anymore. So I vacuum and mop, and every day. It's just my whole life is very stressful right now. But we're going to the movies. It's going to be fun. And we're going to load up on all kinds of crap that is going to make me feel worse, but it's still going to be fun. So I'm looking forward to that. This is a good one. This patient, when they're, I ask what they're allergic to, but you have to ask what happens. I don't care about the nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, hallucinator. They do that. That's the response. Well, what happens when you take Diamox? All right, I can't write that down. I don't even know what that means. Just, can you use your words? You're an adult. You're like a 74-year-old adult. Can you just tell me what happened when you use this med? This patient said that when she had penicillin, she heard bells and whistles. I don't know that was an allergy, but all right. Were you in a train station at the time? Oh, peg tube placement for TPN. All right, once again, it's whether you're using an NG or PEG, you're not getting TPN through that, because what does TPN stand for? Total parenteral nutrition. Parenteral, around, avoiding the GI tract. So no TPN goes through the GI tract no matter how hard you try to get it there. It's parenteral, which means it goes through a central line into your vasculature. That's why it's broken down in such a way that your vasculature can absorb it and use it correctly, because it's not going to go through your GI tract to be broken down and absorbed that way. Total parenteral nutrition, not through a PEG, not through an NG. It's no. Okay, so I'm going to stop right there because we are at my 15-minute attention span mark that I've been told repeatedly one specific individual has. And then we will, oh God, that is so wrong. Oh, yes, that's good stuff. Okay, so we have some good stuff to look forward to. And I'm going to erase my Feasoy. God bless her. And maybe I got a couple other things I could write down and show you at one time. So, okay, that's it. I have got to get out of here, 100 other things to do. So same as always, face your fears, follow your faith, forget your failures, and wish me luck because I have to walk past her room again. And I just gotta walk past. I gotta walk past it, the bathroom. I'm supposed to have company in spring. My girls are coming to stay, and what am I gonna? I'm gonna have to rebuild the upstairs before they come. Her room. I don't understand. I don't understand her room. There's so much stuff in it. I'm gonna burn down the upstairs and start over. At least this room is nice. I know I should pan around. This is like my favorite room in the house. It's my guest room. It's so pretty. And I still have to get all this crap out of it before someone comes to stay. All right. Anyway, okay, I gotta get out of here. Y'all have a lovely day, and maybe this will work, you think? Maybe? Let's see. Yeah? No? What? A little bit? Mother of over here. No? Oh, Mike says use this because you can use your head as an antenna. But it's not that it's not getting there. It's that it just doesn't work.